Holloway versus Rodriguez. What actually happened? This is the full UFC Vegas 42 post-fight breakdown and reaction. We'll talk about each and every fight on the card. Talk about what is next for some of the key fighters too. Looking forward to this one. Smash that like button. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe too and turn those post notifications on. Let's get into it. First fight of the night, Jung, Kennedy Nzechukwu. Nzechukwu came out with this awkward and strange lead high guard elbow up stance, and then Jung started getting it going and ripping some big elbows inside of the high guard of Nzechukwu. Nzechukwu's legs gave out from under him. He was wobbled. He was hurt bad. That durability wasn't there like it was against Alberg. Nzechukwu backed up against the cage. Jung all over him with elbows that look to be getting blocked, but doesn't matter. The force is there, and it's still hurting Nzechukwu. Down he goes, out. Jung, with a dominant first-round knockout, runs through Kennedy. Huge for his stock. Jung had that disappointing draw with Alves, but now he's on a 2-fight winning streak. He's unbeaten in the UFC. He beats Nzechukwu, who's a tricky and awkward prospect. I feel like Jung's an interesting guy at 205 pounds. I don't know exactly who they'll give next, but definitely is going to be a bit of a jump up. We'll see what he can do. I want to see him against more of the upper echelon guys. I don't want to rush him too fast, though. He's only 27, and champion being 42 at light heavyweight, that is almost, infancy. So he's got a lot of time left. So Jung, great win. Excited to see what's next. Nzechukwu, bad loss. It's going to hurt his stock. I do believe he sticks around in the UFC, but maybe potential chin issues, something to worry about. I don't know. Definitely doesn't have the technical skill set to compete with the upper echelon of the weight class either. Keep on moving up. Next fight, Rafael, Alves, Marc, Diakiese. I was extremely impressed by Alves. On the feet, he was competent, capable, hurts Diakiese with a big straight. Casey's legs pretty much out from under him. And then Alves flies in, closing distance with the knee attempt, and then the guillotine is sunk in, locked completely in. Diakiese's in big trouble. He taps out quickly to the guillotine. Wasn't competitive. A minute 48 into the fight. Alves is a prospect to watch now. Lost to Damir Ismagulov, forgivable one. Beats Marc Diakiese, a tricky striker. I don't think he's getting a ranked guy anytime soon, but I do feel like we have a fun prospect at lightweight in Alves. 31 years of age. I guess we can't really call him a prospect. A fun veteran that maybe can work towards that top 25. We'll see what happens next for him, but I feel like Alves' striking is tricky. He's a durable test. I expect him to, at the worst, be a back-end gatekeeper. But good win over Diakiese. For Diakiese, man, losing this fight, hard. Another loss. He's never able to turn that tide to the next level. I don't feel Diakiese is a top fighter in the UFC's lightweight division, nor will he be, even though the hype at one point as he came in was absolutely real. Potential durability issues, and then just overall, there's openings, and he catches losses. He doesn't always show up on game night. Great performance for Rafael. Cortney Casey, Liana, Jojua. Clean sweep on the scorecards. Cortney Casey outboxed Jojua, ripping with low kicks, bloodying up Liana for 3 rounds. It was dominant work. Cortney Casey doesn't get that negative record. She's now 10-9. Now Jojua falls to 8-5. I don't know how much longer Jojua has on this UFC roster. That's another loss for her here. Cortney Casey on the opposite side, real journeywoman, top of the line journeywoman. Win over Angela Hill, a little while back, but that's still a valid win since she's ranked. I feel like Cortney Casey will be put against probably more young fighters looking to make that turn to the next level. I expect her to keep this gatekeeper journeywoman status, but she'll always be a tough out for any female that she fights, and I look forward to more of Cortney Casey. For Jojua, I don't believe the UFC roster is going to hold her too much longer if she keeps losing here. Sean Woodson, breakout performance. Absolutely beat down Collin Anglin on the feet. Mixed it up with the boxing, started ripping the body, breaking Anglin. I mean, Anglin's covering up most of the round. He had really nothing to offer Sean Woodson striking. He was clearly outmatched, and obviously the size difference had a true factor with that, 8-inch reach advantage, 5-inch height advantage. The bigger human being was Sean Woodson, though he's a very thin guy. works well with this style. Dug some beautiful body shots. Anglin's just covering. Dug a couple more. Lands the final one. Drops. The ref jumps in. Stops it. Good stoppage. Sean Woodson, I don't think we want to rush him, but he's a fun prospect. 29 years of age. Really good boxing background. Being as tall as he is. Going to be a hard guy to get down for most of these featherweights. I do feel like the higher up he goes, the physical strength disadvantage that he'll have against some of the better wrestlers in the weight class, some of the stronger strikers, potentially a problem. But for now, I think Sean Woodson's got a good thing going, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. Andrea Lee, Cynthia Calvillo. What a beatdown Andrea Lee put on Cynthia. She absolutely dominated this fight striking. Calvillo could not land the takedown. KGB mixes it up with the hands, beats the brakes off of her for 2 rounds. Calvillo, beaten and broken, quits in the corner, no mas. Fight is stopped between rounds. Great win for KGB Lee. She's working towards the top of the weight class. I mean, what do I feel like should be next for Calvillo, a ranked chick? I mean, she's not bottomless by any means at women's flyweight. She was ranked number 5. He then goes out there and takes that W. It's 12. I don't know, maybe rematch with Lauren Murphy. That could be an interesting fight because Murphy does have that semi-controversial nod over in the past. I like that fight for Calvillo. I think maybe find a way to cut to 115. Seems outmatched by these bigger girls, but it might just be career over. At the end of the day, she is 34 years of age. She did take a bad loss here. I don't know. It's up to Cynthia Calvillo what she wants to do now, but not going to be looking towards any top contender or title fights in the near future after this rough loss here. Andrea Lee, good win. The featured prelim of the night was one of the most impressive breakout performances in a long time. Joel Alvarez did what Islam Makhachev could not and took 4 rounds to do. He finished them in 1 round. Joel Alvarez sparked Thiago Moisés. The elbows from inside were off the charts tonight for him and Daun Jung. Knocks out Moisés. Big underdog that comes through. Thiago, rough loss for him, but he was clearly outmatched with the size, and it turned out to be a serious difference maker. Alvarez's kicks were phenomenal, chopping that calf. He is an amazing prospect. I really am interested to see how far he can take it at lightweight because 6'3", that's freak stature, 77-inch reach. He's the tallest guy, I believe, at the weight class since James Vick. That's a real attribute. We'll see what's next for Joel, but I do think he has an interesting future at lightweight for certain here with that size and his dynamic kickboxing ability because he ran through Moisés. Was Moisés still ranked 15? Let me double check this because if he was, I'm going to have to give a fight for his opponent. Moisés was 15. Man. I don't know if they're going to give him a ranked guy, but let's say they do. You imagine they gave him Rafael Fiziev. Fiziev might be booked at the moment, but he's fighting Riddell. Could they give him maybe the winner of that fight if they're going nuts with this guy? They really want to push him. Or do they pump the brakes on the prospect? Because, I mean, there's Arman Sarukian right in the mix, and that's not an easy matchup. Brad Riddell, Sarukian, Fiziev, Diego Ferreira, Gregor Gillespie. The monsters are real in that weight class. We'll see what they do, but lightweight is so stacked. Alvarez, 28 years of age, still a young guy. Maybe they give him somebody outside of the rankings to slowly build him up there. But amazing performance and one that is definitely going to jump the stock tenfold. Moisés, reset button. All right, main card time. If you guys haven't, smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new and turn on those post notifications too. And let's talk this opener to the main card. Song Yadong looked clearly faster in the first round than Julio Arce, but Arce still looked technically sound. He looked like he was getting going. Round 2 starts up. Arce starting to let the volume go a bit more. It's not needed. Yadong crushes him with power strikes, drops him against the cage, out, fight over. Song Yadong now knocking out a guy that Duadu failed to knock out. That's an impressive win, especially for a 23-year-old. Song Yadong's on a roll at this point. I mean, he's done fantastic work. He beat Casey Kenny. Now he beats Julio Arce. Ranking-wise, where is he sitting at in this bantamweight division? Number 15 in the world. At number 15, Song Yadong is in a very odd spot. I don't think Frankie Edgar fights him. I don't think he rematches Marlon Cheeto Vera. Dominic Cruz has a fight booked against Pedro Munoz. Could see the loser of that fight potentially versus Song Yadong. I don't see a Cody Stamann rematch. Rafael Assunção potentially in the mix for that fight. I don't know. It depends if they want to jump Song Yadong to the Lions Den, really, the true test, or if they want to keep him fighting guys outside of the rankings to continually build this prospect who's got a bit of momentum behind him. We'll see. For Arce, rough loss catapults him back and stops him from breaking into the bantamweight rankings at 32. I don't know what the likelihood is that he turns it around, but I will be watching Julio Arce fight in the future. But Yadong, the prospect that we have hoped he's becoming truly, I feel like he's got a super bright future at just 23. The next fight of the night, Khaos Williams, Miguel Baeza. Khaos Williams looks like a middleweight. He is an absolute monster, jacked, super strong, athletic specimen. Miguel Baeza, a technical kickboxer who's looked higher level technically, but seemed to be at a clear size, strength, explosiveness, power disadvantage. Like night and day difference. Baeza looked like a lightweight out there compared to Khaos Williams. Decent low kicks by Baeza were chopping down Khaos in the first round, though. Baeza mostly moving away from Khaos, avoiding the big shots. Did land a couple of decent ones, but still Khaos Williams getting the better of him. I know the leg lock exchange was a good moment for Miguel Baeza, but I think the ground and pound from Khaos did more damage. I think the strikes were like 27-2 or something like that after the first round. And then in round two, Khaos Williams gets chopped, cracked too. The low kick lands beautifully, cracked as well, so he's feeling it, throws back, a beautiful combination, left hook, right hook, lands directly on the chin of Baeza, and Baeza drops out cold, out before he hits the ground, and then obviously, a little bit of a follow-up from Khaos. Ref stops it. Baeza's complaining after that was an early stoppage, this, and that. He wasn't out, but he definitely knows he was out now after seeing the replay, because he got annihilated out there. It was just too big of a step up in competition. For Khaos Williams, man, he's in an interesting spot. Look at the one loss. It was against Michel Pereira. I believe is fighting Muslim Salikov coming up soon. Not guaranteed, but I believe he was originally scheduled for that fight. I don't know where they put Khaos. He's close to the top. He's close to that. I mean, BL Baeza just fought Ponzinibbio. Does Khaos Williams work himself into that type of fight? Maybe, but I don't know if they're trying to throw Ponzi at this animal here, because the power of Khaos is next level. Baeza, I still think he has a bright future, but he's going to need a step down in competition, get his feet back under him, and catch a couple W's, because it's been a rough 2 back-to-back losses for him. Now, the featured bout of the night, not the most action-packed fight, but dominant control by Felicia Spencer throughout, had Leah Letson against the cage for 4 rounds, essentially. Or excuse me, for 3 rounds, essentially, up until, the finish. Domination from there, big shots landing, beating up Leah Letson, some takedowns too. Start of round 3, Letson had a big moment with the takedown, but she couldn't do anything. Felicia reverses her, gets her own domination going, then gets the takedown at the end, passes to the mount, throws some ground and pound out there. Leah Letson's essentially done at this point. She was getting worked over. The ref runs in, stops the fight finally. It was clearly Felicia Spencer's fight, and now she is in a very weird spot, because at women's featherweight, there is no rankings. I don't know who she fights next. Norma Dumont just beat her. Maybe she waits it out for a new contender that they potentially sign. I don't really know what the plan will be, because Felicia Spencer is in like a very awkward position. Dumont at the top, maybe Aspen Ladd. Felicia Spencer fight is the one to make. If Aspen Ladd's going to stay at 45, that's the only thought that I have. Because Felicia Spencer ran right through Leah Letson. Great performance for Felicia, very one-sided. Letson, rough go back after nearly 3 years off, as expected though. Okay, this fight is the opposite of what we expected. Marcos Rogerio de Lima destroys Ben Rothwell. Beautiful straight shot lands. Rothwell is essentially out on his feet. Backing up is Rothwell. Rogério de Lima comes inside, lands some more. Rothwell looks stunned, but he's slugging back. Wild strikes, big straight punches, just going as Rothwell as he can. Gets cracked by another big shot, I believe a right hand. Goes down, looks like he's unconscious against the cage. Kind of wakes up and then grabs onto Rothwell as the ref is coming to stop it. And then Rothwell falls to his back with him body lock holding De Lima, who ends up on top and looks at the ref like, you stopped it. And then Herb Dean jumps in. Awkward stoppage, very awkward stoppage. Either stop it or don't. So there was a big mistake by Herb Dean there. But I believe Ben Rothwell was finished. Marcos Rogério de Lima is a powerhouse of a human being. Ben Rothwell takes a very disappointing 32-second loss. It's surprising to see Rothwell get stopped. When's the last time Ben Rothwell has been stopped? De Lima, I'm not seeing any stoppages. He lost to Gabriel Gonzaga by guillotine choke. And Cain Velasquez TKO'd him. And also Andrea Arlovsky way back. But he hasn't been knocked out since 2009. And he gets beaten here by KO against De Lima, who just landed the perfect strikes. Great win for him. He'll be moving forward. But at 36 years of age, I mean, I guess, you know what? Don't count De Lima out. But I don't feel like he's a ranked contender type heavyweight. Fun type fight heavyweight. Rothwell, disappointing. 40 years old. I think he's got a couple more, maybe one more. I think he'd like to go out on a win because that was a rough performance. I don't think he goes out with that one there. Main event time. If you guys haven't smashed that like button, let's talk about it. Max Holloway, Yair Rodriguez. My God, the first round was extremely competitive. Yair Rodriguez looked phenomenal. Chopping at the leg of Max Holloway. Most fighters would have wilted to those calf kicks, but not Max. Yair, comfortable standing up with Max, lands some power strikes. Max lands some decent straight shots. First round competitive. Second, you start seeing a little more out of Max Holloway. He's landing some crisp shots. You think maybe Yair's getting a bit tired too. But surprisingly enough, Yair Rodriguez proved that he has the gas tank. 3, 4, more so Max. 5, competitive, but still Max Holloway. I feel like it was a 49-46 Max with that first round going to Yair. Could potentially see a 48-47, maybe depending how you score that last, but more so I see it for Max Holloway just with that forward pressure. The forward pressure was on display. He started digging body shots and really getting going, and as he started to get going against Yair Rodriguez, crispy body strikes, straight punches, Yair would still come back with more. Surprisingly, Max's leg held up the whole fight. Yair actually caused a cut on Max, throwing some wild elbows, amazing strikes. Grappling was on display for both men. Great defense by Yair Rodriguez. At one point in the third round, he gets mounted. It looks like the fight is going to be over. He falls from a straight shot, and then he survives, gets out. So Yair Rodriguez's stock jumps way up in defeat. Max Holloway's stock stays where it's at, high-level Holloway. Where does he go? Where do both guys go? But where does Max go? The Volkanovski trilogy is there, but it will always be there. The Conor McGregor fight, they're stirring the pot on Twitter a bit, talking back and forth. I like Conor McGregor, Max Holloway. That's the fight I want to see. I like super fight ideas. I don't think it affects him in Volkanovski's trilogy. I feel like that could be the fight to make. So that's what I'm picking. Yair Rodriguez, top flight guy. Maybe Brian Ortega if they're both taking extended periods off. Maybe Edson Barboza, or maybe the loser of Giga Chikadze, Calvin Kattar. I think he's got 3 strong options. I think his stock is high. I expect him to probably be on a free TV main event or a spot on a pay-per-view without a doubt, because Yair Rodriguez is entertaining, he's resilient, and he's one of the best featherweights on the planet, and I could see him challenging for a belt if he can get a little momentum going, regardless of his outcome with Max Holloway, maybe even somehow rematching Max Holloway. Both guys just 29. They still have some time left in their careers. We might see this one once again. Great fight. Loved it. It was worth the wait all week. The card was a fun one as well, and what a better way to top it off with the fight of the night being the main event. Hope you guys enjoyed this full card breakdown. Make sure you guys smash that like button. We got UFC full card predictions dropping tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Got coverage for that event all week long. Keep it locked in. Subscribe. Turn those post notifications on. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace, guys.